All right, round two material. We're going to go through each division, break it down, and talk about all the contenders. Heavyweight, we have Brock Lesnar, Alistair Overeem, who are going to go at it at UFC 141. The winner gets Junior Dos Santos. Light heavyweight, we have Lyoto Machida challenging John Jones on the UFC 140 card coming up in Canada. And then at middleweight, we have Chael Sonnen, who called out Anderson Silva. He's getting his wish. It's a fight that a lot of people want to see. Welterweight, we have the same thing. Nick Diaz calling out GSP. A lot of back and forth. They're going to get it on at the Super Bowl pay-per-view card. Then going from welterweight, we're going to jump down to the lightweight division. Ben Henderson with his win of over Clay Guida on the UFC on Fox card. He's getting Frankie Edgar now on the Japan card. Featherweight division, we have Chad Mendes, who will be fighting Jose Aldo for the belt on the Brazil card coming up. And then bantamweight, of course, Uriah Faber just earned his shot at Dominic Cruz. It's going to be the third fight between these guys. So we're going to break it down. Just going to jump right into it. CeeLo, blue corner, going to you. Thoughts?
Let me start it off with the heavyweight division. Let's start it off with Brock Lesnar Overeem. I got to pick Brock Lesnar on this just for the fact Overeem's fought in Strikeforce. Like I said before, Strikeforce is a joke. Number two is just Shogun beat Overeem. Chuck Liddell beat Overeem. And it's not even like they beat him, they knocked him out. So, I mean, we don't really know how strong his chin is. Yeah, he might be bigger, but he hasn't got punched yet in the face. Now, Brock Lesnar, I can't say nothing about fist because he hasn't shown it. He came last week, took a
Brock Lesnar did kind of show it before Heath Herring. He did put Herring.
Yeah, I mean, but that's Heath Herring. Where's Heath Herring now? Sorry, Matt, but where's Heath Herring now? Let's put it that way. I mean, let's put it like 2 points for me. Let's put it this way. What if Brock Lesnar's got fucking some strong ass hands? Let's see, like, what if he catches Overeem in the chin? What happens? Shogun and Chuck Liddell proved it and got knocked out.
Yeah, good point.
So let's put it like I kind of got to put Brock Lesnar on this one just because I haven't seen Overeem's chin. He got knocked out before.
All right, Overeem was the reigning champion over at Strikeforce. All right, let's say
reigning over who? What heavyweights were there?
Let me say that. That doesn't mean shit.
Let me finish. All right, but Overeem has proved himself because he's
proved himself because
in K1. He has great hands. He is a champion. He's used to that. Let's not forget what Brock Lesnar has gone through. He's gone through a major surgery. He's been inactive for a long time. Cage rush is an issue. We saw that with Cain Velasquez last week. Let's not forget about that. Overeem is the more active fighter. He's in shape. He's healthy. We're coming back, and don't get me wrong, I still think Brock Lesnar is definitely a contender. Wrestling, always over boxing. But we know what happens when Brock Lesnar gets punched in the face. He crumbles. Only when he does boxing is when he's good.
Yeah, I mean,
I have to give it to Alistair Overeem because he's the more active fighter. And because of the major surgery that Brock Lesnar came out from.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar's going to take him down and just punch him.
Yeah, we thought that.
I got flashbacks of Frank Mir and Brock Lesnar.
We thought about that also when it was Cain Velasquez against Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah,
right?
but Cain Velasquez
Cage rush is a real issue, guys, and we're going to see that with Brock Lesnar.
So what are your thoughts about Machida against John Jones?
You start off with the red.
Right. Machida against John Jones. All right, John Jones. Young guy, great energy, very dynamic, longest reach in the UFC. Machida, great hips. That's the one thing I give Machida. His ability to jump in and jump out, it's pretty much a puzzle. But because of John Jones's reach,
it's not a puzzle no more. Shogun figured out.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was getting at. But John Jones's reach and leg kicks will put him at ease. I think this is a simple win for John Jones.
Yeah, I mean, you said hips, whatever. I don't give a fuck about no damn hips. I see a chin. Once I see that chin and John Jones discovers that chin, it's over.
Yeah, but the same thing with John Jones. We haven't seen John Jones' chin get tested at all.
But I've seen John Jones' elbow and I've seen people's faces. Yeah. Plain and simple. I mean, Machida's going to have another scar to add to his face.
All right, Chael Sonnen, middleweight division. I think it's another case of just straight out murder. Anderson Silva, I'm going with. CeeLo, what do you think?
I'm going for Anderson Silva too. Chael Sonnen is kind of dangerous, I think, on the ground, just because we saw his wrestling is just insane. What he did to Brian Stann. Yeah. Brian Stann was a top contender until Chael Sonnen put him in his place.
I mean, I was actually really impressed with the way Chael Sonnen handled it.
Yeah, I was too, literally. I mean,
at no point was Brian Stann even in that fight.
It proves that cage rush does not exist in his vocabulary. Yeah. Chael Sonnen is a monster. And don't get me wrong, I feel like Anderson Silva, if it's on the feet, it's not going to last very long. But Chael Sonnen's way to victory throughout this fight is the takedown and ground and pound. We saw Anderson Silva exposed throughout that.
Give me 2 more points for this one. On the feet, Chael Sonnen did knock down Anderson Silva, but I think on the submission, that's the thing that Chael Sonnen gets caught with.
You're telling me right now that you think if Chael Sonnen stood there in the pocket and Anderson Silva wasn't just blocking that takedown,
I gotta go with Dave on this.
No, Damian Maia did not throw one punch and caught him in a
DQ
triangle
for
choke.
Stupid opinion. No, you lost. 2 points for me.
2 points for me.
Well, no, I'm going to chime in here. I'm going to have to go with Dave here just because Chael Sonnen did put some leather to Anderson Silva's face. But let's not forget, Anderson Silva was hurt in that fight. A healthy Anderson Silva on the feet is, without a shadow of a doubt, the most dynamic striker in UFC.
I'm going against this. I'm actually rooting for Anderson Silva. That's what I'm saying. Chael Sonnen lost to Damian Maia without Damian Maia even landing a punch. So that's what I'm saying. The whole thing I'm saying is that Anderson Silva would submit him on the ground because he always gets caught on them triangle chokes. He didn't get caught for Anderson Silva for no reason. Damian Maia proved it. Didn't throw one punch and caught that triangle choke and submitted him.
I feel like we're going to see the same thing when it was Machida against Shogun. The first fight was pretty close, and then something dramatic happened, and Machida took a win. Now that Chael Sonnen has fought Anderson Silva, has been in that main light, and has conquered him throughout the four rounds in 4 minutes and 50 seconds, he's going to come back. He's going to have a better game plan, and he's going to...
All right, welterweight. We have Nick Diaz talking all his junk about George St. Pierre. He got it. George St. Pierre went to Dana White and basically said, please, Dana, put me in the ring with this guy. Let me shut him up. The fight's happening on the Super Bowl card. That's a pretty big main event. And, of course, I got to go with my boy GSP. So, you know what, Ginger? I'm going to throw it over to you. What do you think?
All right. GSP, great fighter, wins X amount of rounds. He's a fantastic athlete. But Nick Diaz, he's a great smack talker. And GSP is the nicest guy.
That's gonna help him win.
GSP is the nicest guy ever. But once you put a smack talker like he did against GSP, it's going to throw him off his game plan. I think that Nick Diaz is going to push GSP enough so we can see GSP come back or him avert from his game plan enough for Nick to capitalize.
Yeah, me personally, I can say this thing. The whole thing with me about the fact that you said, like, the talking shit and all this, sometimes that gets into the fucking head of the fighters.
Yes.
Second, I could think of him doing something different because he has to prove a point. Now he's going to try to do something that he didn't want to do, get caught with something. I don't think Nick Diaz has knockout power, but he does have face-up power.
Yeah, no, he
does. I mean, look at BJ Penn's face.
All right. Yeah. So are we saying that you guys are kind of giving an edge here to Nick Diaz just because you think he's going to get in GSP's head? Let me revert back to when GSP fought Josh Koscheck. It was on The Ultimate Fighter. All the head games that Josh Koscheck played, blatant was disrespectful to GSP. GSP was like, I'm not going to fall into this game. GSP went out there with a game plan, broke Josh Koscheck's eye socket. I think GSP has made a career out of taking people trash talking, making a game plan, and winning.
Josh Koscheck is stupid. I mean, let's put Nick Diaz, because that's what we're going to be talking about. Nick Diaz, he talked all that shit. All right, whatever this. The dude, look what he did to BJ Penn. That's plain and simple.
He can back it up.
Exactly. But the thing I'm saying, I still got George St. Pierre on the fight because his wrestling is just insane. But the reason what scares me and what I think personally, I think people can vouch for what I'm saying, if he couldn't take Jake Shields down on the fact that he didn't want to go with the jiu-jitsu, Nick Diaz is just as bad. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the stand-up, I mean, if you look at the Jake Shields fight against George St. Pierre, I hate Jake Shields, not personally, but the whole thing I'm saying is he caught George St. Pierre in the face. Now, Nick Diaz got a better stand-up than Jake Shields. That's the only thing that I could look at where if you're scared to take him down, now stand up with him, and the dude's not no backup. You know what I mean? He knows what he's doing.
All right, let's jump over to lightweight now. We have Ben Henderson. He came off of, which was another great fight with, what's his face here? The Carpenter, Clay Guida, long hair. The guy who's always like, he's like the guy who's always invited to the party but never makes it in. Because, I mean, the guy's like always banging on the door of becoming a champion, never made it in UFC. Ben Henderson, I've said it since he came over into the UFC. I've called it, this guy's a future champion. He's an all-around MMA guy. I think Frankie Edgar, if anybody can do it, I think it's going to be Ben Henderson. I think Frankie Edgar's got his hands full come that card in Japan. So, CeeLo, what do you think?
I mean, I've been watching Ben Henderson's WEC. Yeah. Everybody was hyped about fucking Showtime Pettis. I don't even think Showtime Pettis is even, like,
Besides that
in the
Showtime
level.
kick, you know?
Yeah, he's not even on a level with Ben Henderson. That was just literally a fucking, like, I got a better chance hitting the lotto than him doing that kick again. The only thing I could say is, like, Ben Henderson, I think is a threat to Frankie Edgar, but I can't literally pick a winner on that fight because I like both of them, but Frankie Edgar showed heart.
No, we're going to go gun to head. Who wins this fight?
I kind of personally, because I wanted to see win, is Ben Henderson, but, like, if you've seen the epic battle with Frankie Edgar and Gray Maynard, I can't pick him a loser, you know? It's just,
Two.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I can't.
Yeah. Gray Maynard's, Frankie Edgar's will to survive is beyond expectation.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he has a great chin, he has great cardio, and Ben Henderson's a type of fighter where he's a take you down, ground and pound, put you against the cage fighter. Frankie Edgar is not that type.
But Ben Henderson has great Muay Thai. He could clinch you up and keep you there too against the fence and do what he wants to do.
Frankie Edgar's got a chin for days, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he got knocked down, but he's a warrior.
And he has great boxing. He's in and out. I feel like it's going to be a much better fight. And it's not so clear cut that Ben Henderson's going to win. I feel like Frankie Edgar has an edge because he's been in that spotlight a little bit longer.